Okay, good morning, family. How you guys doing this morning? So today we're going through the yard and we're just doing a walkabout with Koda this morning. Here, puppy, what you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And why is that bucket your favorite? Give me that bucket. Give me that. Give me that. So, for some reason, he thinks my pots are great. So, we're just walking around the garden and getting a feel for all the to-do things that I have to do. So, this is the back fence, and even though this is Koda's yard, I still need to take care of it. So we have kudzu down here in the south. A lot of Southerners know what that stuff is. That stuff is deadly. My husband found some stuff that actually kills some kind of herbicide or something that actually kills it, and so now it's dying on the fence. He got rid of it last year, but of course it's kudzu, so it's going to come back every year. But whenever he sprays, it gets rid of everything. So that is part of the 1% of, uh, you know, non-organic things. You just have to do what you have to do. So like I said, no judgment. Uh, there's no way I can have this backyard and have kazoo everywhere. So I do have old roses back here, but I'm getting ready to get rid of this one and this monstrosity in the middle because some kind of vine got on it, and trying to get it eradicated, I have to cut the whole thing down anyway, so it's gonna go. Another part of my to-do list. This is starting to fade away, my little flowers on the old macrophylla, and so I'm just kind of going through, and I'm gonna have to clean this up a lot this year. This is a very old hydrangea that's been in my yard, and it hasn't even been in my yard as long as some of the others. But this thing is a monster, so I'm gonna have to. I think I may actually have to divide it. I hate dividing them. Look how beautiful that thing is. It's so full and pretty. So then we come to the limelight, which I don't think gets enough sun, but because of the trimming that I did, we have a lot of blooms on this tree. A lot of blooms. And then I start to see the little brown leaves, and I'm wondering, did my husband go over this tree with some spray or something? So either it's my husband's fault or it's my fault because I didn't do something. So we will get it figured out. But the tree is doing quite well. The blooms are just absolutely, look at them. They're starting to come up. Oh, they're so pretty. I love that tree. Okay. So we're just doing a walkabout through the yard. I have old plants in this backyard that I think I'm going to move to the front and to the side. I'm gonna try to keep this video short, but I think it's gonna be another 20-minute video. Make sure you turn your volume up because I have the phone turned up as far as I can, but you know, the last time I did the video, the volume was kind of low, so I'm trying to keep the phone close to my mouth. So here is another another lace cap hydrangea. So I think what's gonna have to happen is this is gonna have to move. My Japanese maple that I have to protect with this cage, this tomato cage, because my husband is good for rolling over stuff, because there's his trailer. The trailer that got moved yesterday, and everything that was in between got ran over a little bit. So yeah, so these things have to move. So this has to move, and that has to move. Now the Nandina that's right behind here, I have two that are growing on either side. They can stay. That, of course, is not getting damaged because it's behind the fence. This one is getting beat up by the door a little bit, but this thing has been here since we've been here and before. And as you can see, it's got, look at that. This thing, you can't do nothing to it. It's going to come back no matter what. Ain't that right, Koda? Ain't that right, boy? Okay. So again, there's my little composter. I hardly use it. I use it sometimes, so it just doesn't produce enough. I think I'm gonna have to put, I'm gonna have to do the in-ground compost bins, like the big ones, and have the 3 slots. I think that'll work good. I get a lot of moss on the side because it's just such dense shade right here. This is the oldest hydrangea that I have, but as you can see, because it's right here in front of the neighbor's tree, okay? And this is also where my husband runs through with his trailer, so that has to go. I raked up some branches and stuff because we get a lot of that over here because my house is surrounded by trees. So this is the last plant that has to go. It's hanging in there, so it's waiting for me to move it. Um, so I think even though this is the oldest one, I've also cut on it the most. I've divided this up a couple times because it got so massive like the one in the back. And then over here, I think I'll be able to leave my azalea here. I think I'm gonna have to cut it back really hard, and I really don't want to because I think I'm gonna end up getting rid of a lot of the blooms. But I think I'm gonna have to cut it back hard because we'll be doing siding in literally like 2 months. My husband's ready to have it done, which means, and I hate to say it, but this is going. I love this hydrangea, but it's gotta go. Um, this is one of the first plants I bought when I got here, and it's been blooming, like like me and Sydney showed you on, I think the second or third video, and it gets those blooms, and it takes, from the time you get the plant until the first bloom, like 7 years. So I may get another one and just have it grow along the fence, maybe on that side. The only problem is again, you can't pick your neighbors, and you're never going to have a neighbor that does the same kind of gardening as you, or anything like that. So I've had to deal with the fact that, oh, I'm sorry, oh gosh, okay, you guys just get over it, it'll be all right. So there's ivy that is very persistent on their side, and every neighbor that I've had over there, it's only been two, but still, well, or has it been three? I don't know. So the neighbors have really a bunch of ivy, and so as you know, ivy is invasive, and so I can get rid of it on my side. I've had ivy on my side, but neighbors don't get rid of it, and I guess they're keeping all these shrubs and ivy and stuff like that for privacy. I guess I don't know, and I don't care. But it just, my husband sprayed, so it's dying. I have, there's bugs and stuff because it's so humid. Okay, so I'm also gonna have to move these. Maybe not because it's in front of the fireplace. We have a wood burning fireplace, so there won't be any siding or anything going over here. It'll probably get cleaned up really good once we get the vine off. So I'm wondering if I can just leave these here because I love the look of this beautiful hydrangea, this nice lace cap against this huge hossa that I have. So I think I can leave these two, and then this will all get cleaned up, of course, when the siding comes. That's a huge project. I'm so glad I don't have to do anything. Okay, so walkabout, and we're looking at chores that have to be done, but we're also looking at plants. So here I have a daylily that I dug up. I have not fixed up this bed yet, so that's on my list of things to do. I'm almost finished with bed 3, so this will be the next one that gets done. It's not important right now. Of course, I have a few little hostas that have not done well in this spot because I think it gets too much sun. Well, this hosta right here. This house is doing okay, but it's a little burnt. I think it just hasn't had enough water, but it has some new buds in it. Coleus is the one that needs to be moved because I think it's getting too much sun in the morning. A lot of sun. And then we come over to the hydrangea that has all these new leaves on it. That's the one I rescued. Then we have hosta. This hosta is loving this spot. I guess we're gonna leave it. Rebecca is doing fantastic as well. Then I have a little bit of mono grass, and then I have my Japanese maple, and I love this freaking tree. I don't know where the label went. The label was on there, but I think it's in the house, so I can get it and tell you which one it is. Here's another one. It's a little feather leaf, Japanese maple. Here's a pinky winky that we think it is. Rebecca, and there's a little spider web. I don't know, I can't see the spider though. And then this beautiful weeping redbud. And then we have daylilies in front. These are the traditional Stella d'Oro daylilies. And then here's my basket. I have managed to get half of the stuff that's in that crate or cart planted, but I think I'm going to end up trashing quite a bit of things uh, that I just don't need. Then as we come over here to my hydrangea corner, because I think what's going to happen is I'm going to have a hydrangea go up to this tree. I'm going to put one more in, and that's it. And then that way I can leave that whole area clear for my husband and his trailer. So I have two hydrangeas. Now this area is deep shade. I think I get a little bit of sun, but it gets very dry over here. And as you can see, this hydrangea suffers the most, this one in the back. And this is probably one of the oldest as well. So this is from the original plant that I planted, and I put it up here. It did really well, but when it gets really hot and humid, it suffers. It doesn't matter. I can water this thing every day and it's gonna do this. So it's gotta move. It's huge, so I think I'm gonna have to split it up. And then this one right here will not get it much bigger than what it is right here because of this thing. And I am not moving my oak leaf hydrangea. This thing is massive, it's beautiful, it outperforms everything else in the yard. And I'll back up. I'll try not to get my fingers in the video, and I'm not editing that out. It's just okay. And so these hydrangeas do really well, and probably not till next year we'll show you how to prune correctly on these as far as old wood, new wood, blah blah blah, with these plants. And right here is so there we go. Look at all the blooms on that. They did their thing this year. Too bad I didn't start doing these videos until after they had really gotten a great bloom, but it is what it is. And then this is just the neighbor's tree, which is, it's not a bad tree. It's not causing any havoc. And then we have a little tree right there. So the little trees are not bad. It's just some of the crap that's growing in them. So whenever you have neighbors and stuff, you really need to take into account how you're going to handle, plantings and things like that. So I think my plantings kind of draw your eye away from the mess that is the neighbor's yard. I mean, his yard is actually nice, but it's just up against the fence. It looks like crap. Okay. So, there's Koda again. Hey. You're so funny. Okay, so we have a little bird bath here. I'll give him some water, but I got to clean it out a little bit more. We cleaned it yesterday. I clean them every time I put some water in it. I usually just use an old broom that I have that's specifically for that. So here we have, of course, our arborescens hydrangeas, the Incredibles 2, and they're doing well in their spot. I've only had one that gave me blooms, but everything else is shooting up leaves really well. So I think we're just gonna see what they do. If you don't get out of that, get out, get your ball and get out. What the heck? Okay. So this hosta is doing good there. This hydrangea is doing good. I don't see any buds on it, but this is the first year. It's only been in the ground 2 months. Dug up some lilies that are huge from this area when I was cleaning it out. So not sure where I'm gonna put these at, but I need to have lilies all in one spot, so they may actually end up staying over in this area. Trying not to step in Koda's spots, because for some reason he likes to run up here and go to the bathroom. Dogs. Okay, so right here, of course, is our black diamond, and then there's its buddy right there. They're doing well. I'm wondering how much bigger they're getting. I need to research that, right? Hydrangea, irises, huckster, butterfly bush. Okay. And so as I look over the garden, I'm starting to figure out as far as the to-do list. So far this garden right here, I'm kind of done with as far as this year of things that I'm going to put in it, because I really want to give that paper that's underneath the beds time to break down a little bit, so that when I go to dig in it, it's not so tough. And this is doing really well here. Okay. Now we're going to talk about this front bed, because this front bed is the one that's going to have to make some more changes. whenever you're planting and thinking about what you want to do in your garden and how you want things to look, sometimes you just have to realize that some things have to go. You have to divide things. Uh, you love plants, and you don't want to do anything that's going to disturb the look that you're so used to, but you have to divide. This whole area needs to be dug up again. And I already dug up most of the daylilies that were here, but I'm going to have to dig all these up, and they're going to be spindly the first year, just like they are right now. So next spring they'll probably be a little bit fuller, but they have to move because it just looks like a hot mess in the middle. They were overgrown, or they're starting to spread a little bit. And daylilies do spread. They put out little babies, so you get more plants. That's one thing I love about perennials. You get more plants with them. And there's a peony. This is one of the original ones I had in the ground. So I think this is the Sarah Bernhardt, which has been doing really good. Hasn't she, Koda Bear? Hasn't she, Koda Bear? Okay. And so as they get ready to put in siding, that means I have to really watch out with these plants. So I think I'm gonna have to cover them up with something. Then I have not a morning. I always want to say that it's a clematis or clematis, however you want to say it. I don't care. Don't worry about when people try to correct you with, how you say a plant name. As long as you know what it is and how to take care of it, you're good to go. So here's another clematis. This is a jackmanai. I know that much. I think it is. That's a purple one, right? Oh goodness. So yeah, what I'm gonna have to do is dig that part up right here, and then I'm just gonna have a line of daylilies in the front, and then in the back we're gonna have roses. I think that's what I've just determined that is probably going to be the best thing for this area. Uh, and I'm going to have to get some really good roses, not knockouts. Knockouts don't have any scent to them, so what's the point? I love knockouts. I love the way they look. I love the fact that you can just chop on them and they keep coming back, but they don't have any smell. And the whole point of roses, besides the look, the main thing people get them for is the smell. This bed is going to completely change in the next day. I'm getting rid of all those. So whatever you see right here is got to go, except, well, okay. So this area has got to go. And that's mainly, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, sorry. That's these irises. They're small. I may throw a few of them in pots, but otherwise it's got to go. I think I'll leave this hibiscus here for right now. Um, but really not sure as far as if I want to put anything else in there until I get roses. The roses will be coming probably at the end of the season because that's just probably the best time for me to plant them. I really don't want to plant in early spring. I want to be done in fall with my plantings, unless I find some, pretty annuals next year. But otherwise, I just want these. I just want roses here. So this is the first rose, and then of course I have daylilies in front, but everything else is just going to be roses. Uh, and with roses, you want to keep some good spacing because you want to limit disease and black spot, things like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep the daylilies and irises over here. So I did put quite a few irises and daylilies back in this spot. Yeah, I'm blowing folks. Uh-oh, it's about to be on. There's a dog coming. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video so Koda can bark his head off. Okay, we're back. So Koda barked at the neighbor because he's mean. Okay. So I always like to just, make sure Koda's a big dog, and if he thought about it, he could probably jump the fence. So we just, I just try to curb him from doing that. So anyway, so I think I'm gonna put this here, and that is this cardboard. I think I'm gonna put, because I have a piece here, so nothing has come up in this spot right here. But now I'm starting to see those little vines. I hate these things. And they get little stickies on them. So I think I'm gonna have to put some actual cardboard here to get rid of that. I don't know if the paper is gonna be good enough. I really want to not have uh, any kind of weeds in here. I don't want to come up under the tree and constantly weed. And the thing that comes up under this tree, not weeds, is these vines, these weeds right here that start vining. So I think when I move the bricks and get ready to finally put the last of the bricks down, because you know everything's a process. This is a working garden. This is gonna, well, not a working garden. A working garden is a vegetable garden, but a a work in progress garden. So I have to really, I want to take my time and not feel rushed because I'm doing some videos, you know. So I'm just taking you guys on the journey with me. Oh, it needs sweet. Now he's sitting and being a good boy. That's rare, you guys. Take it in. Okay, so under the tree, like I said, I just have the lantana and a few daylilies now. I don't think this is, I don't know if I want to permanently leave it like this though, as far as these types of plants up under it. You know, the ground covers are the big thing, so, but I have to figure out which ones do I want. Do I want to do creeping thyme? Do I want to do herbs? Do I want to put like a mondo grass and just leave it at that, which can be kind of pretty. Definitely with the a blue star creeper is one I'm thinking of putting in between these paving stones because it will fill in really good. I just have to make sure that it takes sun, right? So with the pavers, I'm wondering, I keep thinking if I want to leave them as is, but I think I'm gonna have to dig down just so that I can have them in the ground good. But I probably won't dig them down until I get all, you know. This is gonna be a long process doing that, but this whole area is gonna be nothing but pavers. I am not trying to have no grass, okay? Another neighbor walking past, but he's letting her go. That's because she wasn't next to the fence. The other lady walked next to the fence and he was not having it. You hear me? Okay, so the, the bugs are really bad this morning, so it's humid. So as you can see, when we were talking about the coleus, the sun hits over there pretty hard, and it stays there for another couple hours, and then I start getting all the shade from this beautiful oak tree. Okay, so that's some of the things I think I want to do. Um, but I'm just so excited that to be getting siding and getting windows after all these years. You know, with men, they just kind of like, you know, they don't want to do. Oh, let's not do anything. Let's not upgrade stuff. Hey, let me do it myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you cannot fix stuff. So I'm really just liking the way that things are looking from when I started cleaning up. So this is much better. This area right here, all along the fence, is looking really good. And I feel like I don't have any worries. And I like the way that looks through the trees. Yeah? Everywhere in your yard, you should be able to look to certain points and be like, I like the way that looks. Because it's not just you standing directly in front of the garden. It's how does it look from right here? How does it look from right here? And how does it look from right here? Everywhere you look, it should be pleasing to your eye, not to everybody else's, to your eye. So to me, everything is pleasing, and the things that are not, I automatically detect, and I know what I need to do. So we already know what we need to do. We got to clean up over there, dig up 2 hydrangeas, right, and so forth. But I am pleased with how everything is coming along. If you guys have any ideas or things that you'd like to see or any comments, just, you know, put some comments in the comment section. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't want to talk, at least subscribe to me. And like the video if you hear anything that you like. It's hard kind of liking videos because they show up in your videos to watch. And I know a lot of people don't want to do that because they're like, well, I already heard it once. But if you heard something you like, just go ahead and like it. You can always change your mind later. You guys take care and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.